Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is August the 17th, 2020. I'm getting ahead of myself. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. Buy and hold. This game is not rigged. One day closer to an all-time high. 5-digit round. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. We're going to talk about that a lot today. I am offended by selling. Hello, my elite friends. Do you have any questions? I have answers. We'll have time. Type in BitcoinMeister or do a super chat. I will get to your questions. And hey, another day, another 2020 fiat high for you fiat freaks. It's been a good day for the fiat freaks, over 12K again. But we don't need to analyze that. We're long-term thinkers. We're not impulsive. We've known this day has been coming for quite some time. It's post-halving hype. Again, I talked about the 2020 halving for a long time, and I said, yeah, afterwards, just like in the 2016 halving, slowly it moves up until, 6 months later or whatever. And then the real fun begins in 2021. But so we're slowly moving up, et cetera, et cetera. One day closer to an all-time high. That's all you have to remember. 2024, strong hand. So let's talk about someone who definitely has a 2024 strong hand. And his name is Chamath Palihapitiya. He's known as Chamath, okay? He worked at Facebook for a while, a venture capital guy, incredibly smart guy from Sri Lanka. Originally, you've heard of him. He owns if you're in the space, you've probably heard of him. Or if you're in the tech space, at least, he owns part of the Golden State Warriors. He lives in Silicon Valley. He's an SJW. But besides that last thing I said, he is a very smart guy. And a lot of people were talking about his recent interviews. There was one when he was yelling about the government or the Fed, and everyone loves these like sound clips of him. And then the Laura Shin interview from a month ago. And there was a clip of that saying he didn't know what DeFi was. And everyone's like, aha, you see this genius? He doesn't know what DeFi is. It's worthless, and Bitcoin is great. Okay, it was a good sound clip. It was hilarious. Did you actually watch the whole over an hour interview that Laura Shin did with or listen to it, that Laura Shin did with Chamath? And I did. I finally got time to do it this weekend, and it's now like it's a month old. But it's much deeper than the little clips that are out there. And his basic point is that he thinks it's insurance against the falling apart of the financial system or the degradation of the finance. Okay, we get that. But the interview just was not about that either. I mean, that's a basic. I mean, a lot of people use it as insurance. That's cool. That's great. There's inflation. We know what's going on in the real world. But at the 34-minute mark, I mean, it gets real good. Okay, for the people, for those of us who have the system where Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin, he reminds us that he's been involved in a lot of businesses. He likes to keep it simple. Okay, he doesn't like to overcomplicate decision making. Okay, he says there is a category, the category winners. That's who you invest with. Okay, now sure, there are second and third and fourth place people, and they win in their own way. But you have to come up with an incredibly convoluted narrative to define on what terms the second and third and fourth place winners win on, okay? And why do that? And in the long run, that the category winner wins. The other ones do. You can play all these games, overcomplicate things, and sell one here and buy one here and do this and he used the words convoluted spread trades you can do, and you might do well, but he doesn't have the time for that. Nobody has the time for that. Okay, the simple thing he's learned in life, you go with the winner, and you get the category winner gets a disproportionate part of the gains. And so his point is, she keeps on asking him questions that kind of are trying to lead him to talk about other coins, and he's just on Bitcoin. Now, Yeah, and so simplicity, people. Keep it simple and pound that like button. That's what I've been talking about. She wants him to get all flashy, okay? Everybody loves the fancy sets and graphics. He keeps it simple with Bitcoin. And he is a billionaire, by the way. He is a billionaire. Now, he's not exact. He's got so little time, and he doesn't want to sell his Bitcoin at all. He doesn't want to do anything with. He wants to have a position in Bitcoin so much and never bother it. And it's partially security too, he said, what I'm about to say, and it's partially logistical because I guess he couldn't all keep it. He doesn't want to keep a bunch of it in one place. So he does make a mistake here. He's involved with Barry Silver or with GBTC, with Grayscale. I think he helped start them. And so some of his Bitcoin is at GBTC, whatever that means. Now it shows you that he's a very smart guy. He loves Bitcoin, but he's gotten and because he's in the valley, in Silicon Valley, he knows these dudes. And so I don't agree with that, but I kind of understand one of the points that he's making. I mean, he is a target. He's a billionaire. If he says he's got 100,000 Bitcoin laying around, that's yeah. So he does mention GBTC in an overly positive light, I would say. But hey, he's going to do what he's going to do there. One thing that's shocking during the video, and this will lead to some questions, he doesn't know what Facebook Libra is. And he lives in Silicon Valley, and he worked for Facebook at one time. So some people are going to say it's because he doesn't like Facebook anymore. And he talks about central bank digital currencies and has a pretty good understanding of them. But to have that understanding of Bitcoin, to have that understanding of central bank digital currencies, and then not to know that there's a gigantic private company down the street from you that is trying to print its own money, it's like you're missing an important part of the puzzle here. So you've got to watch the entire video, especially starting at the 34-minute mark. You can gain a lot. You can gain a lot from it, and you're going to have to use your brain on how it can help you, okay, and how it can make your system stronger. And I don't think a lot of you strong hands need this type of encouragement, but he does break it down. Keep it very simple. You don't. I mean, he talks about Amazon. Why buy these other companies when you could just buy Amazon? Why buy the Spanish Amazon or the Amazon that only sells sofas? You buy the real thing. And I did like a point he made about the central bank digital currencies in China. First of all, her questions, especially at the beginning, you might not like the way she goes about. It seems like she's reading something that's written down. She's following a script. That's the way she does things. Whatever. Don't let that turn you off for the whole interview. All right. Persevere. Pound that like button. But with central bank digital currencies with China specifically, she asked him, and he makes a very good point about it. That sure, China talks about blockchain, central bank digital currency. Everything they do is to try to get into a position to overthrow the dollar as a world reserve currency, period. And so the central bank digital currency, which is, I mean, it's a control mechanism, definitely over the people. It gives them more control, but it gives people it makes it look like their currency is much more transparent than it really is, okay? They're going to control that blockchain, okay? It's not a decentralized blockchain, but they're going to say, oh, look, now that the yuan is so much more transparent, we didn't know X, Y, and Z about it, but now it's on a blockchain. So, and that's why he thinks that's why they're going to have a central bank digital currency on a blockchain, because it makes it appear that they are much more transparent. And to be the world reserve currency, you got to be much more transparent than China is right now with their with the yuan. I'm going to tell you something. It's going to fail. They're not going to become the world reserve. The only way they become the world reserve currency is if the people have a rebellion there and overthrow that government. Not with that authoritarian government that manipulates everything. Even if they have a fake blockchain or whatever that shows you fake transparency, the dollar will still remain ahead of them. But very good point about it, because people love to glorify, oh, China's doing a central bank digital currency. These private blockchains are great. Yeah, whatever. No, Bitcoin isn't that. It's better than Bitcoin because there's a billion people there. No, And yeah, he goes into this SJW stuff a little bit at the end there, so be careful. But and so again, he can get into SJW nonsense. He can get in, but you can learn from this. Okay, you can learn. And Laura Shin might not be on your usual listening, what you usually listen to. Okay. But it's good to listen to things that you don't usually listen to either. Expand the mind, be in motion, don't get stuck in that algorithm. And that's what, and I practice what I preach. I don't usually listen to her, and it was very interesting. So you can learn. And Warren Buffett. So everybody, speaking about you algorithm people, looks like you've been getting, all of you in the news or on the algorithm is showing you Warren Buffett has bought some gold stock or something like that, and people are asking me about this. Like, dudes, why are you asking me? Seriously, you guys know that I don't care about gold at all. It's all these people that are still golden holders, and they want this reassurance, like, oh, gold's still good. It's still good. Look, Warren Buffett changed his mind. This 80-year-old old man who doesn't know anything about technology, he's changed his mind about gold. So I could be a Bitcoiner and I could be a gold freak still. And oh, this is so great. Adam, please talk about it on your show to make me feel. No, it doesn't matter what he does. Why do I care what he does in gold when I'm in Bitcoin and Bitcoin's the future? Why will this matter in 2030? Why will this matter? He doesn't matter, and people get butthurt. No, I shouldn't have said that word. When he says bad stuff about Bitcoin, who cares? There is no one that controls Bitcoin. That's the whole point of this darn thing. I'm telling you about Chamath and everything. I'm saying you can learn from him. He doesn't control Bitcoin. He's wrong about certain things with Bitcoin. Okay. I'm not putting him on a pedestal, but of all people, he's a lot smarter than Warren Buffett. He's a lot more connected. I'm going to talk about him so we can learn from him. He can't learn a thing from Warren Buffett. All right. In terms of the Bitcoin space, it's so ridiculous. Why are you still putting him on a pedestal? All these people ask me, what do I think about his gold moves? What do I think about the Phoenix Suns playing the San Antonio Spurs or they're playing the Nuggets? What has as much? The Phoenix Suns playing the Denver Nuggets has as much to do about Bitcoin than Warren Buffett buying gold. Okay, so you might as well watch the SJW NBA. Okay, than care about what Warren Buffett does in gold. Seriously, this is serious stuff, dudes. You're gonna be if that influences your decisions. Okay, you're gonna make an impulsive mistake in Bitcoin. If you're in the Bitcoin realm and you're buying Bitcoin because you're going to get look, he just bought some gold stock. I better buy this gold stock. Gold stocks, what's gold, mining stocks, whatever it is, go watch the NBA and buy nothing. That's better than buying whatever some old dude is buying that doesn't like Bitcoin, that has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Nothing to do with Bitcoin whatsoever. And so, and then it gets confused. People are like, oh, well, maybe he's about to buy Bitcoin because there was fake news out there. Some headline grabber on one of it said something like he's thinking about buying Bitcoin. Where did that come from? People derive that because, oh, he's finally bought gold. He finally was realizing the world is ending, so he needs more insurance against the world is ending. And by the way, the world is not ending. But the doomers get into this stuff. Oh, he's finally joined my doom club, so maybe he will buy Bitcoin with a doom mentality. Who cares if he buys dark Bitcoin? He's behind the times. I bought it in 2013. I'm some guy from Baltimore, okay? He's and I was way ahead of this dude, all right? So if you need Warren Buffett to buy Bitcoin or to buy a gold stock to make you feel better about your Bitcoin, you make no sense at all. It makes no sense. Go watch the Suns or whoever, the Nuggets, the this, the that, the other. You'll learn as much from watching the Nuggets than worshiping Warren Buffett. Very good. And pound that like button. 123 No Scope said, I graduated from college last year. I can tell you from experience that kids in college don't want gold. Yeah, I know. I made so many new Bitcoin. I made so many new Bitcoiners at my school when I explained Bitcoin. Kids woke up. Yeah, again, kids aren't going to start buying a Bitcoin. I mean, I hope everybody gets that. And so let's go to another old timer here, Doug Casey. Now, Doug Casey at least bought Bitcoin. Okay. He's got this headline. I get this stuff sent to me. I mentioned this a million times. This email from his group. It's not even him who comes up with these headlines, but here's a headline for all you people who get stuck in the flavors of the months and try to diversify for the sake of diversification and love gold mining stocks, because here's the equivalent of a gold mining stock from a few months ago. The title says, Behind the Cannabis Crash, a New Conspiracy. So, yes, we all knew that the cannabis, logical people knew that the cannabis stocks, that people were comparing it with Bitcoin. No, Bitcoin is clearly not the next cannabis stock craze. The cannabis stock craze is over. So now they got to make headlines to say it was a conspiracy and make up excuses, just like all the gold excuses for the last, since 1980 that Doug Casey has been coming up with. But again, at least Doug Casey did buy Bitcoin, and that's great. But a clear doomer headline for all the doomers or the impulsive guys who have to buy the most trendiest thing. Oh, it's pot stocks. What happened to your pot stocks? What happened to your cannabis stocks? It was a conspiracy, right? That's what the headline says. There you go. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Don't diversification for the sake of diversification into the latest trend. Makes no sense. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Now, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Like Chamath. Keep it simple. There's one winner. Yes, great. There's going to be someone that comes in third place. That's awesome. And some people will make money off the third place. Great. You just make the most money off the first place. Now, Wrapped BTC. I have talked about this Wrapped BTC. People love to scream about it, how they put Bitcoin on Ethereum. And interesting, the founder of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, had a very a quote I agree with. I continue to be worried about the fact that these Wrapped BTC bridges are trusted. I hope that they can all at least move to a decently sized multi-sig. So again, when you're trying to play, turn your Bitcoin into this WBTC, so you can go to these DeFi places and get interest on your WBTC. There's trust involved, all right? There's trust involved. It's an IOU. Your BTC turns into an IOU for some time. Somebody can mess up. Somebody can steal it. And then your IOU is nothing but an IOU. They will owe you nothing because the real asset is gone. It's stolen. So good point. Good point. About the trusted bridges. This is when you really own your Bitcoin, you don't have to trust anybody but your darn self. Okay, all right. When you go to Wrapped BTC, and there's all these nice fun things you can do with it on that decentralized exchange. I don't even remember the darn name of it now. What's it start with an O? It doesn't matter what the darn thing is called that people play with it. Play with the all right, you get the darn point. I'm no DeFi a guy here. You pound that like button. Moving on. So Swan, I get all these guys from Swan that come on my show. Everybody loves Swan because Swan goes out into the Bitcoin community and Coinbase does not. All right, that's just a matter of it's fact. Okay, but we got the Winklevoss out there, and they own their own place where you can buy Bitcoin and altcoins. And it seems like what their approach is in terms of marketing. So Coinbase, all their marketing is hey, we've added a new altcoin. Swan, it goes out to all they'll talk to anybody that's already in the Bitcoin. These Winklevoss, they're going out to normies. They immediately hung out with Portnoy. And now I see they've got a tweet out there. We're continuing to bring crypto mainstream. We sat down with Simon Sinek to discuss how Bitcoin and crypto are the answer to the world's money and internet problems. So I don't know who Simon Sinek is. He looks like, he doesn't really have anything to do with economic. He's just some guy on the internet that's got a following. He may be SJW. I'm not exactly sure. But he's got people to follow him, and they're willing to go to all these people out there in the wild west of the internet land in social media that might talk a little finance, that just might talk about real life, and just to introduce Bitcoin to the masses. So these freaking billionaires are going out there and spreading the crypto word. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, why isn't it just Bitcoin? All right, dudes, they're billionaires. They could do a lot more with their time than go to these influencers in social media and try to teach them about Bitcoin. So I give them credit their marketing technique it's interesting. We'll see if they keep doing this, and they're spreading the word. They're not hiding anything. They'll talk to anyone, it seems like, that has completely nothing to do with finance or Bitcoin, just to spread the word. Now, going back to finance and Bitcoin, Tone Vays has a very interesting take on Dave Portnoy, because Portnoy he presents himself as being an impulsive person. We talked about this on Friday's This Week in Bitcoin show. Please check it out. It's linked to below. But he appears to be impulsive. He is not impulsive. But in order to give that impulsive vibe, he's buying these altcoins every day. He says something more controversial, like, it's all about pump and dumps. It's this, that, and the other. And Tone makes a good point. Am I the only one that is secretly hoping Dave Portnoy sells all of his $200,000 of Bitcoin he bought and goes all in with S coins? Is there a better way to learn a lesson? Face with tears of joy. I think. Oh yeah, Tone had a face with tears of joy. I shouldn't have read that. There was actually like a face, to learn a lesson. And when you copy a tweet, sometimes it translates the face into like letter, face of joy. Anyway, you get the point. But going back, is there a better way to learn a lesson? No, there isn't really. For 20%ers, there isn't a better way to learn a lesson than losing. Okay, it's a harsh reality. But Tone, I gotta say, if he does that, if he turns his $200,000 of Bitcoin into S coins, some people might wake up, but a lot of people out there, most people are 80%ers. They go, oh, well, he just made a mistake. Next time he'll do better. Or I can do better than that. Clearly, he failed. I'm smarter than him. I can do better. He has this tweet out there. I'm now in on the S coin OXT. Orchards never die. So again, he's pumping up altcoins now, Dave, whatever his darn name is, and Portnoy. And it's funny, on that thread that Tone started, you get a typical 80%er response. What if he makes money? Then what? So there's always that eternal hope that they're smarter than Bitcoin, that they know that altcoins are going to make them rich, that they know what the next Bitcoin is. All right. So yeah, if Dave does this and loses, there'll still be people making excuses, thinking they can do a better job. So let's talk about you technical freaks out there, or people who like the technical sides of Bitcoin, not the trading technicals, but the technical Lightning Network type of stuff. Tomorrow, this is from Bitcoin Magazine. So if you guys really love technical stuff and you actually understand it, you're not just like they're drooling, thinking it's really cool. You're hearing all these big words that you don't understand, complexity worship. And going back to Chamath, he basically says complexity worship is nonsense. Keep it simple. But here we go. If you are a tech head, and there are plenty of tech heads out there, tomorrow is Technical Tuesday. And this is from Bitcoin Magazine. Join us for a Raspberry Blitz deep dive with Raspberry Pi deep dive with these dudes contributing to the Raspberry Blitz development, running join market on the Raspberry Blitz, lightning vouchers, and merchant onboarding. Tomorrow, 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern time, you can watch a video where you're going to learn about all of that stuff, which whatever. You guys do what you're going to do, you tech heads. It's a big space. We can have tech heads here. We can have strong hands here, marketing guys here. We can have all sorts of stuff. All right, almost done the show. Let me just see if we got a lot of people over there. Good afternoon. Good. No questions, it looks like. Let me just make sure no one else typed in BitcoinMeister. No, we got just the guys are over there. Good. Okay. And finally, 2 more topics real quick. Yesterday, I couldn't remember the name of the measurement that I like. That's better than market capitalization. Realized capitalization, realized cap, it's linked to below. And finally, for all you marketing altcoin freaks or whatever, for some reason, I'm on the Litecoin Foundation email list, and they sent me that they now have the all-new Litecard. So, yeah, you can get a credit card where you can get rid of your Litecoin, where you can spend your Litecoin, because apparently Litecoin is about spending. All right, yep, spending, great. I'm about saving, but they get in my inbox. They they do what they do. That's marketing right there. So great. I'm definitely not endorsing it. In fact, I am against such a thing. But this will spreading the word like they do, having a Litecoin foundation, it helps pump the price. So people are like, "Ooh, they've got their own credit card now. I can get rid of it. I can spend my altcoin. Spending is great." Being a hyper-consumerism has really led to great things for people. Trying to keep up with the Joneses has really led to great things. Great. Now Litecoin is encouraging that with a credit card. Obviously Litecoin's going to pump. I'd rather own Litecoin than Bitcoin. Yep, I'm impulsive. So hey, when you're altcoin, you can have foundations, you can have market, you can have that kind of marketing coming out, and hey, that's what they do. So don't fall for it. But that's and many of you are just going to be so happy I said the words Litecoin. It's pathetic. All right, I'm Adam Meister. The Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. And Charlie Lee is a great guy, but still, I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Check out all the links below, and again, retweet this. Just tweet it out and spread it on social media. That's a great way to support the show. See you guys tomorrow. New show every day. Conviction, baby. Conviction.